Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here I'm looking at Bitcoin versus US dollar on the Coinbase chart on the 4-hour time frame. And here's our big dump from yesterday and continuing. And I don't think it's over. Do I necessarily think we're going to keep going down here? I don't know. So let's look at what happened here. I don't care why it happened. Whatever. Markets are kind of spooky. They get spooked by any little thing. And of course, you can always find a narrative afterwards. But last video, we were talking about how we were above this white dashed line. We were up here. And I said, that's good. That's really, really good because it's the center line of our white parallel channel. Here's the bottom. Here's the top. And it looked like we were going to continue this rally then yesterday, possibly up to 108 with this green trajectory. But I said, just be very careful because if we fall back below the center line here, then that means we're coming back down to the bottom. And that's exactly what we did. And if I switch to an hourly, you can actually look here on the hourly. We fell through, we tried to hold it, and then lost it. And dump. So, now here's the bottom of the triangle. But interestingly enough, we are finding support on the center line of this downward sloping parallel channel, which is interesting and good to see. Now, a lot of people think we're going to keep dumping down to 77 right now. And yeah, maybe we could. I'm not putting that out of the question. I think we're running out of steam, though. And I think what's more likely, and before I say this, I think we're going to see a lot of volatility continue throughout the rest of the month. I don't think we're blasting off to any new all-time highs, and not necessarily dumping down to 77K immediately. Maybe at some point we do. I don't know. But I do expect it to be very volatile, because we got a lot of things coming up. There's a lot of narratives that can spook the market. We've got a lot of jobs data coming out the rest of this week. And aside from that, next week we have the CPI and PPI data. PPI actually comes out the day before CPI on the 14th. And then we got the Fed meeting on the 29th. So that's right where my cursor is right now. So I do expect it to be pretty choppy in here throughout the rest of the month. Now, in past videos, I talked about this many times. What happens in January is that typically, and this is why I drew these lines. This X is on January 7th. I said January 7th that we'd see a pullback, more than likely. That's what we've done that's what we've done in previous Januaries. And so, and that's exactly what we did here. I didn't think we'd see such a dramatic pullback like this. I thought it would be kind of more gradual. But anyway, regardless, I still think this is valid right here. I think we might chop sideways down this way or pump up and then back down. I think that's what's more likely. And I'm going to switch to my other chart. So here we are on the Bitcoin index chart with all the lines on it, and on a daily time frame. Now, I think we're pretty much done dumping. If you look, however, here on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map on CoinGlass, and it's set to 12 hour and it's set to symbol. There's never any shortage of people willing to go long right here. So we got some yellow there at just under 95,000. So we had just come down right here and scooped up that yellow, and this was a lighter color. And sure enough, though, it fills up. People jump on the bandwagon there, and so there's a little bit of stuff there. I thought we were going to bounce and come back up here and grab these people up here, up at about 97 and a half. But we may come down a bit further first and then go back up there. Anyway, I think this is the game we're going to be playing for a little while now. So if we did come up to 97 and a half, where would that be? That'd be about right there. So let's switch to an hourly chart. See, it looks like we want to try to make a bottom there, but we could do another little boom, a little upside down U thing, a little cascade thing, or we could come up and get those people at 97 and a half, and possibly, I'm thinking we could come up to this pink line. I think that's where we're going. Targets to the downside, bottom of our white channel right here. That's right around 94 and change, between 94 and 94 and a half. And possibly, if that doesn't hold, the center line of the Gaussian channel is right here. And then as well, to the downside, you have this thick red line right here. And what is that? That is a trend line that connects, okay, I want to just move this, that connects our November 4th low. Oh, we got to go way back. Oh, we're on an hourly. Help if we were on a daily or something. Holy mackerel. There's our red line right there. Red line goes to this low here on November 4th. And this low here on October 10th, which, by the way, is CPI data release, and it's a bottom right here. I always have to mention that. Always October CPI data release is the bottom of the market. So this red line connects that wick here, the wick on November 4th, and we've stayed above it since then. And now we are coming right back to it. So it would make sense that we come back down here possibly Thursday or something. And that's around 93,000. Maybe a little bit lower, 92 something. So we got those three targets to the downside, 94 and a half, 94, 94 and a half, which is the bottom of the white parallel channel. Which if you're tuning in for the first time, is the most famous channel in Bitcoin history from which we start all parabolic bull rallies. And that's the bottom of it right there. And the mean band of the Gaussian channels right here around 93.3, and the red channel is around 90, just under 93. So those are good places to the downside. By the way, the bottom of the Gaussian channel is somewhere around 88,000. So we got a lot of different areas we could come down to and bounce from without ever going all the way to 77. Of course, if we did start heading down, there could very well be a good chance of liquidation, cascading liquidation event things where the market just freaks the hell out. I hope not. I hope everybody's a little bit more level-headed. But it is possible. I mean, because that would be like a, I don't know, 30% pullback. I mean, from 108, 102, whatever. We've seen 20, 30% pullbacks in the past. So far, we've only come down about 8%, something like that, I think, from right here at 102, I believe. Yeah, 7-something%. So could we do another 7%? Sure. Let's just see what that would be to the various targets I mentioned. We came down to the white one, that would be about 8 1/3, 9 1/3 to the next one, and down to the red line about 10%. So certainly down to that red line would be very reasonable. A very reasonable move. I don't want to be too scary for the ETF people. So, some point here. Oh, we're back up at 95.8, so that's good. It does appear that we could possibly be bouncing from this region here, and we could come up to the purple line. Oh, what is that purple line? That purple line is an extension of the triangle that we were trading in back here. We were consolidating in a triangular formation. We've discussed that in previous videos, and I know it's hard to see, but that's an extension of that line. And as you can see here, we kind of wicked right up to it here, and we're held down by it before busting through it. Let's see if it shows up better on an hourly. You can see we kind of held it as support here on the way up. We traded just underneath it, but you can see how these rallies here rallied up to it. But and it's possible that this isn't really drawn that accurately and could be pulled down a little bit more. But you can see that they're at the same slope as that line. So Could we come then up almost to that line tomorrow? Sure. Back up to 98 something. Who knows? That's why I'm saying. I mean, it's hard to tell what could happen. Anything could happen. There's so much. And I don't think even the people that, if there were people manipulating the market, I don't even think they know what they're going to do. Nobody knows what they're going to do day to. It evolves day to day, minute to minute. So there's a lot of possibilities out there. All I know is it's probably going to be pretty volatile. But I'm imagining that we come back up to the purple line or the top of the Gaussian channel right there, that pink dash center line. And maybe if we got really like super bullish, came all the way back up to 100 or the center line of our white channel. Now, the reason why we would do that is because I don't believe this dumping is over or the liquidations are over. But I think maybe they've exhausted their power here and they're going to let it run up again and sucker some people in that think, hey, that's it. We hit the bottom. Yeah, we're going back up, and then dump on us again. And I don't think this is going to be over until CPI data release. And if we get some good news out of that, maybe we pump. And or if the markets like what news we get, maybe we pump. And remember, PPI is the day before on Tuesday. This is Wednesday the 15th, next week. And so we could rally off of that into the end of the week next week. But then we got the FOMC meeting on the 29th. Now, I guess the Fed people have been talking, and I was listening to someone else, I forget who, but they were saying that they, maybe it was Rob on Digital Asset News, saying that pretty much no more rate cuts until June. So if they're all talking about that now, I think we pretty much know what's going to happen at this meeting, and it's not an economic projection meeting, I don't believe, where they have their little dots on there and estimate what they think the rates are going to be over the course of the next 12 months or something. Those are every other meeting, and I don't think this is one of them. Those meetings are more influential. Now, one thing I did note is that, okay, here, this yellow dashed line, vertical line, is the CPI data release. Now, that red line I was talking about earlier and the bottom of the white parallel channel intersect right here on the 13th of January. And maybe we could call it the, we really can't. So possibly that acts as a support right there, that little cross at 95,000. So if we did bottom here, what is that, by the way? If we did, in fact, bottom right here at 95.3, that's a little bit below that. I don't really want that. Where's 95.3? 95.3 is way up here. And See, the 14th when the PPI data comes out is it's somewhere like up there. You know what? That yellow line needs to be moved over. I think it's right. It's probably right at 00. Yeah, it's right at 00. It should be moved over like to 13 or 1400. So the 14th, right around there. That's about 95.5. Coming down to the red line right there. So possibly our move to the downside is done right now. And we come up here and dick around up here, bouncing around a little bit. Kind of just go sideways. You know, maybe we have, you know what, let's look at this stuff over here. Hourly, of course, we're going to be at the bottom. But we are coming up. Let's see, we got the, this is the stochastic RSI. This is the stochastic oscillator down here. We can ignore the other ones there. And this is the RSI. RSI is way oversold and wanting to come up on the hourly. 4 hour, all these guys are turning up. 4 hours as well is about to turn up here. It's trying to turn up on these right here and here. And it's trying to turn up there, but it's still at the bottom. Now the daily, see, the daily's still heading down. And what's interesting here on the RSI, I noticed this earlier. On the RSI, remember in my last video, I was talking about how we had broken above this red downward sloping channel that we had been traveling downwards in. We had broken above it here. But I remember saying this. I said we're right here at the center line of this green channel. I said we could get rejected here at the center line and come back down to the bottom of the green channel, and look where we're at. Pretty much nailed it. So this is on the daily, and we are crossing back down below the moving average. So the day's not over. The day just got started. So we're a third of the way into the day, I guess. With major trading is yet to come. Now we have dipped below that green channel in the past. It connects this and this, and these other ones kind of wick through. So we could come through it, or whatever. So, but now you can see though, we're back inside the red channel. So if we did bounce, it's a good chance that we could then get rejected again, come back down to the green channel, come over here, and then maybe start doing something, going upwards more after around the CPI data release. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe come back up to the channel. I don't know. It's getting a little bit far out there. This all kind of makes sense if you look at... Oh, you know what? Let's look at the weekly too. What's the weekly doing? So the weekly is, well, it's hard to see, but it's, I'm sure it's pointed downwards. Okay, the weekly, but the week's not over. I mean, the week just got started, so, but where is it relative to the, okay, here it looks like the weekly is on the, around the center line, around the 50. I almost stopped the video. Everybody's like, yeah, stop the video, yeah. So here on the weekly, the stochastic RSI is kind of hanging out right here at the center line there. And it would be kind of nice to see it turn up there. Don't know if that's going to happen. It's kind of curving. So, anyway, we could come all the way down here to this aqua colored line. Maybe not. Maybe we recover here from the center there. Let's see how that plays out with the weeks ahead. But basically, it can be choppy and unpredictable. There you go. There you have it. You heard it here first. Not really. What the hell? Oh, I turned the log off. Yeah, look at that. 96. We're back up to 96. Woohoo! And let's see what these 4-hour candles look like. Oh, this one has a little bit of a longer tail on the bottom of it. That's nice. Yeah. I think that's probably what's going to happen. We're going to recover tomorrow. Come back up, maybe to 98. One of the targets up here that I mentioned before. Either the purple line, top of the Gaussian channel probably, but then come back down. Just go sideways the rest of the week. Thursday's Carter's funeral thing or something. And then there's just one trading day left. And then the weekend. So, and Friday you got all the jobs data coming out. So maybe we come up and go sideways, and then who knows what's going to happen on Friday. All right, so that's it. See you next time. Like and subscribe if you want, and that's it.